The day we've all been waiting for has finally arrived. EA Sports College Football 25 is released, and I'm excited to start my dynasty with Vanderbilt University. Great location in Nashville, Tennessee, and they're just a little ways away from downtown Broadway Street, which is known for its live country music, a great place for college kids to want to hang out. We're certainly going to try to use academics and location as a selling point for potential recruits to come in and play for Vanderbilt. The stadium can hold about 40,000 people, but there was an initiative signed in 2022 called Vandy Unite, and that's hopefully going to get some renovations done to the stadium. The record in the past has been pretty bad, especially their conference record, with the lone exception of 2011 to 2013 when James Franklin was the coach there. Most of you recognize him from Penn State. Their current head coach, Clark Lee, has led them to 3 pretty bad seasons, 2 of those seasons with 0 wins in the SEC. Not many well-known NFL players from there: Jay Cutler, Jordan Matthews, Casey Hayward, Zach Stacy. I really love the Vanderbilt color scheme with the gold and black. Reminds me of the Saints. I just think there's so many cool combinations that we can go with. All blacks obviously looking amazing, but combining the gold with the black, these are some pretty nice uniforms. I think they look pretty historic, as well as they have some cool different alternate uniforms that we can start using. Gives us lots of options as we're doing this dynasty. So where do we start? Clark Lee's a good guy. People like him. He's a Vanderbilt alumni. I'd like to keep him around. I want to move him to defensive coordinator if the game will let me do that, and then I'll take over as head coach. We're losing some key pieces. We're losing our top 3 wide receivers. Will Shepard went to Colorado, London Humphreys to Georgia, and Jaden McGowan to Boston College, so our top 3 targets gone. In comes Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator for New Mexico State, and brings with him Diego Pavia, the quarterback, and Eli Stowers as tight end. Pavia is a senior now and shows great explosiveness and mobility. He was the 4th leading rusher in the FBS, I believe it was, over 1,000 yards, about 1,083. Definitely an up-tempo, don't know which way you're going offense. Reminds me a little bit of how the 49ers use motion to cause confusion. I'm going to lean into this heavily. I like the way he's running his offenses, so this is going to be great for us. Pavia looks like he's going to be a really fun mobile quarterback to be able to run around with and throw some deep bombs. He has some great accuracy. From watching some of this tape, I'm pretty excited to have him on the team. He is a senior, though, so it's only 1 year. We'll get into possible replacements after this. They do have another young recruit coming in that looks pretty promising as well at the quarterback position. So I like what Vanderbilt has set up already. We're hopefully gonna get the most use out of Diego Pavia. I'm super excited that they're both coming over. Tim Beck was part of Jerry Kill's turnaround at New Mexico State, where they had a 3-win season, turned it around to get to consecutive bowl games. The other player he's bringing over is Eli Stowers. This guy's pretty interesting. He's a 4-star quarterback recruit. Looked like he was going to be a good athletic quarterback coming out of high school. He's very athletic, very fast. Just didn't fit at the quarterback position super well. So you can see him here. He originally had committed to Texas A&M, played there. This is some spring tape. Honestly, at the quarterback position, didn't look good. He probably made a wise decision trying to switch it up. So he ended up switching to tight end and transferred to New Mexico State, where he got in some playing time. And obviously, Tim Beck liked him a lot, wanted to bring him over to Vanderbilt with him. So I'm excited to have him as a prospect in our system. He'll be a junior, so he's only had 2 seasons so far in the NCAA. I think it's going to be pretty promising. I like throwing to the tight end position, so I think having him, we're going to show that we can help develop talent, and Eli Stowers is going to be fun to have. Coming in the transfer portal from Utah, we have Nate Johnson. He actually played for Utah and looked great as what I believe would be a true freshman. He's a sophomore now, so this guy looks electric. He has great rushing ability and actually is going to be a great fit coming in behind Diego Pavia. I think in actual football he might compete for some starting time, but I can see him sitting 1 year under Pavia and learning the offense from Tim Beck, and then coming in hot as a junior, hopefully honing his passing skills a little bit, but obviously a great athlete as a rusher. From the tape I watched, is a great short thrower, good at throwing on the run. Can learn a little bit of deep passing, medium passing, and a little bit of anticipation. So he looks really good. Excited to have him develop a little bit behind Pavia. Our starting running back is going to be Cedric Alexander. He's a sophomore running back. He's only run the ball 96 times so far for 371 yards and 4 scores. He got a lot of that time in here against Alabama A&M, where Vanderbilt was just killing them. But he's shown promise and looked good. I believe they lost their other running back either to graduation of the portal, I forget which, but I really love running the ball. Hopefully with our offense being so motion heavy and with Pavia being a threat, we're hoping that Cedric Alexander is going to be looking really great as well. So excited to have him and prove that we can have a good running back in our system. Our offensive line isn't much to write home about. We've got some veterans coming back on the left side in the center, and with some transfer portal guys coming in on the right side of the line. Hopefully we can get some bigger guys in the future and help us bulk up against those SEC teams. As I mentioned before, we're going to try to move our existing head coach Clark Lee to our defensive coordinator and also insist that we run a 3-3-5 defense, which is a little bit different but is gaining some steam now in the college football. There's a lot of different teams running it now: TCU, Nebraska, Georgia, West Virginia. And the 3-3-5 essentially allows us to provide some versatility. It helps counteract the spread offense. We're going to get good defensive backs and big athletic linemen. Blitzes can come from anywhere, which is interesting. We're going to have single high safety a lot. Lots of good coverage corners to cover the good wide receivers in the SEC. We have a couple years left with junior linebacker Langston Patterson, so we're excited for him to be coming back. He led the team with 74 tackles last year. We're going to want more of that. He'll be one of our 3 linebackers trying to stop the running game. It's going to be very interesting switching to a 3-3-5, but I think we're going to be able to make it work out great for us. Our defense is going to be led by our 2 safeties, DeRicky Wright and CJ Taylor. So these guys have been playing for a while now. They're big athletic safeties, can make a lot of plays. So we're excited to have them in this 3-3-5. They're definitely going to be utilizing their pass coverage skills for us. The story is set up for us. No one is expecting us to win any SEC games. We have such a tough schedule, so we're going to have to try to scratch some of these out and make Vanderbilt look like a good school that people want to come compete with us at. The key game is going to be our very first game, August 31st against Virginia Tech. We really have to win that game to be undefeated outside of conference play, and then hopefully we can scratch out a conference win or 2 to make ourselves look great. So what is our plan? Nobody wants to go to Vanderbilt and play football. What's our plan to get people to want to do that? Everybody right now is cashing in on NIL money. They're hard selling, getting paid to go to college, but no one can really compete with us when it comes to academics. We're going to be recruiting and talking to these players and telling them they're going to get a one-of-a-kind experience at Vanderbilt. They're going to get a great education. They're going to have a great time being in Nashville. And also, we're going to show that we can compete. These SEC teams are amazing. You're competing against top talent. You're competing against guys going to the NFL. If you want to make a name for yourself, you got to compete against these guys. So come to Vanderbilt. We're going to build up this program. We're going to work hard. We're going to make you look good. Our offense and defensive scheme are going to make you look like an NFL-ready player. We're leaning into the fast pace of play on offense. We're going to have some great athletes with a lot of motion and scheming up for our guys to make good plays. Our defense is going to confuse everybody with the 3-3-5. We're going to be able to cover these tough wide receivers and have them guessing where the pressure's coming from. We're going to make guys look good by our coaching and try to get a few guys drafted into the NFL. It's been a while. We haven't churned out a lot of good prospects in the past. We want to start proving that we can. We want people to come to Vanderbilt to compete and show that they can be NFL players. It's going to be a super tough road. I don't know if we can do it, but we're going to try our best to. Please subscribe if you want to follow the series and watch Vanderbilt become a great football program on College Football 25. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.